Hello, Cancer. Welcome to your reading with me, Cindy. So, Cancer, I kept getting this feeling, like from the time I woke up this morning, that I was supposed to do a different reading than what I've been doing, which I've been having a lot of fun with them. But so I went up to my whole bunch of cards that I keep all my different reading types on, and it was the your current and future archetypal energy. So what I'm basically looking at is I'm going to look at your current energy and your future energies, and then there is an extended. So if you're drawn to that, the link is at the top of the description in this video. And in the extended, we look at the in-between. So we kind of look at personal challenges, distractions to be aware of, and areas to focus on while you're in between these two energies, because there usually is like an in-between. I like to call it almost like the void, like a void of course energy in the middle. So we're going to look at where you are now and where you're going to be in the future, and I'm going to do that with an archetype deck. And then I'm actually there's a second card that usually comes out with this. A lot of times I use the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit Oracle, but I'm going to use my doggy Oracle. It's so cute. So it's sort of like an influencing energy to go with this, as well as supportive. And then you are getting, oh, look at that. You got the sun at the bottom. You're going into my Murder of Crows tarot deck. And what are we going to find out in this current energy? We're going to find out, what have you been working on? What have you been healing? And what is starting to blossom for you? And then in the future, we're going to look at what will you finish working on. It might not be the same as what you're working on right now. What will be healed and what will be ready for you to harvest in the future. So that's what I'm going to do here. So let's get started, Cancer. It kind of feels like now you are sort of the start of my readings, because that's what, yeah, it was Taurus for a bit. So now I feel like I need to do this for everybody, and it'll end at Taurus. So yeah, you're sort of like the start of this new wave of reading type. I don't know. I guess it's just different messages need to come out in different ways, right? All right, so Cancer, let's get into your energy. Current and future. Current and future archetypal energy for Cancer. Currently, you have Samaritan. Refines your capacity to help those you would prefer to ignore. So there might be people pushing your buttons, and you're trying to do you put your best foot forward in those relationships right now. In the future, you have teacher. Ability to communicate knowledge, experience, skill, or wisdom. I kind of, wow, she's opening, I never noticed that before. It's like she's opening up a globe. She's opening up a globe and all the possibilities that are in there. It sort of feels like right now, before I pull out more cards, that you are kind of really working on how you work with others. Where you can help others that you don't necessarily feel like you want to help. Knowing that you have something to offer here that could be of service to someone. Whether they kind of get the value in that or not is not really the point. It's just like, well, I'm going to do this. It's the right thing to do, so I'm going to do it. So it actually seems pretty nice. But then in the future, I feel like you are sort of in a more, I feel like more in charge. More in charge of what you're doing and how you're sharing that. Like you actually have sort of the attention. People have come here. Like it's that feeling like if you signed up for a night course, or if you're going to college, like the people that are kind of like there, what do you have to share? They want to know, like they signed up for that. They want to know, as opposed to right now, I don't know that they want to know. Oh, look at that. The bottom you have exorcist, freeing yourself and others of destructive impulses. That kind of feels like an awful lot of what's going on down here in your current energy. So let's get a doggy. Let's get a doggy to go with this. What messages can the little doggy oracle deck? And they're so cute and they're so sweet. Patience. Oh, be patient with whoever, whatever you're dealing with right now, Cancer. You're doing the right thing. In the future, look at this concentration. I don't know. Maybe you're dealing with a puppy. It's almost like you're literally dealing with the energy of someone or a group or a situation where I really prefer not to do this. It's just like really. But I don't know if the same group sort of switches over here and they really start paying attention, because this is the dynamic that I feel like that I described earlier on. Like, what are you saying? What is that? I want to know what you have to say. Like, I'm really curious about that. Persevere. Maybe this is almost like a practice. Because in the future, you've honed it in and you have the audience that's looking for what you got. That's exactly what that is. In the future, you're going to have the audience that's looking for what you got. The audience that recognizes your communication ability, your experience, skill, and wisdom, and actually the way that you communicate that. You've got an audience that's paying attention in the future. Right now, you're dealing with maybe a few heterex. I don't know. What's at the bottom of the puppies? Innocence. Laziness. Interesting. Innocence and laziness. That might be what you've got going on over here. You're exercising this energy, right? The exorcist at the bottom. You're kind of helping to push someone through something. You're trying to help them see something, understand something, guide them. They don't feel like a real willing participant. Their deeper self is probably interested because they found themselves in front of you. So their deeper selves, the universe has probably guided them to you. There's definitely a degree of patience required on your side. And I feel like if it feels like it's not serving you right now, I feel like the way that it's serving you, whether this person or group really takes what you have to offer here to help them with, it serves you in the future, because it's almost like honing a skill or like practice, like a practice speech with a group that really aren't paying attention and couldn't care less. And in the future, this group is very much interested in the topics that you have to bring to them. Real interesting and curious energy. And two, I'm also feeling, I keep getting messages, I feel like these people are sort of like trapeze artists. Like you have to like do backflips and you got to put on a show. Are you paying attention? Hello? Woo! It's like, but here it's not that at all. It's like all you have to do is bring the facts and the information forward, and you have got a very in-tuned, focused, concentrated group. You don't need to do backflips here. It's like, pay attention. We value what you have here. Ah, so interesting. See, the way these messages, you can't get, like, you can only really get this message with this, what would I call this? This type of, I don't know, what do I call all these different readings that I've created? Anywho, so let's go into the tarot and let's see what the murder of crows has to say. What have you been working on? Why do I feel like we're going to get like temperance or something to do with patience? Oh, the King of Pentacles. So maybe it's your boss. Maybe it's like, well, wait a second. Okay, let me pull them all up. I like to just really go, what could it be? Maybe it's this, maybe it's that. Let's see. Okay. What you've been working on is the King of Pentacles. I'm not sure if it's an individual or some sort of stability, or could be your own business or something that you're working on. But let's see. What have you been healing? Is death and rebirth. So you've been healing like major endings in your life. What is starting to blossom? The Knight of Pentacles, a path forward that makes sense, that has logic, and it looks steady. Wow, got pentacles on either side of a death card. Okay, now this is interesting because the King of Pentacles is above the Knight of Pentacles. So what you've been working on, I feel like you've already achieved something. And you've closed that off. You've finished that. You've achieved that. And what is starting to blossom is a new path to some sort of achievement again. But isn't that interesting? It may even be too, you're refining your capacity to help those you would prefer to ignore. I just can't. I just love how not subtle that is. Okay, I'm going to pull these out and go about that. I'm going to talk about this in a minute. I just wanted to get them out before I accidentally do something with the cards here. Fool is at the bottom. Yes, you are starting a new journey here. Okay, refining your capacity to help those you would prefer to ignore. This, like a Samaritan, I'm also getting like social work. Like this is not necessarily people that you would involve yourself with, like that would be in your life. But you have some sort of capacity here to help them. It could be volunteer work. It could be your neighbor, their flat tire, like that. It seems a little bit more broad than that, but you've brought this capacity as far as you can take it, I feel like. And it's kind of ended here. It has come to an ending. And it's about refining that capacity. So it's like a brand new step forward. But it's not precarious because it's the Knight of Pentacles. So it's slow, step by step here. But there are things to learn and navigate and negotiate along the way. So you may even be, it's both pentacle based. I almost feel like you're dealing with like, okay, because there's two dogs in this, right? And that feels like, and there's two here. There's two people in this card and there's two dogs here. And over here we have one person and one dog. And then we have one-on-one. It does feel a little bit like going from maybe a group and there's a few paying attention here and there's none there. And then going to like honed in, paying attention, eye to eye, face to face. Oh, face to face. Oh, and teacher. Maybe some of you have been like teaching people remotely and nobody's really been paying attention. So in the future, look at, what is that? Someone talked about that last year. I do not remember doing 1 digit by 1 digit multiplication. What? That's funny. It's like all of a sudden like paying attention, concentrating. That's really cute. I mean, I do get emails and stuff from people that are teachers too. Comments, so maybe that's what it is. So you've taken it, like whatever level it is right now, you've taken it to the highest point you can. And that's over. That is over. And there's a new road ahead. There's a new road ahead. So in the future, what will you finish working on? Is the 6 of Cups. Soulmate connections. No, you're moving forward. I think you're moving away from something from the past, from your past here. What will be healed is your Knight of Cups, how to move forward with your heart. What will be ready to harvest is the 8 of Cups. Something that you've pulled away from. Something, it's almost like your heart, your passion. Look at this is all cups. And this was, well, except for the Death card, it was all pentacles. So this is practical. These are the things that we have to do. This is a foundation in life. This is, you know, all the elements that keep the trains on the tracks and the cars in the right lanes. But over here, this is like more from your heart. It's almost like discovering your heart again. I really feel like if people are not paying attention to you right now, they're going to be highly focused in the future. Oh, I love this. This is great. I gotta say too, I'm just looking at these two, like the whole scenario with the teacher and then they're finally concentrating. I will admit that I don't know how much paying attention my kid did. And after a while, I really didn't care anymore. This is all about mental health. That's all it was about. Oh my gosh, that is so funny. All right, so you've taken something at the highest level I feel like you can. What have you been working on? The King of Pentacles. But it seems like you've achieved it because it's closed off. So the King of Pentacles, the Devil. Well, oh my God. Really, like, look at the ball and chain of work. Yeah, you did it. Did a good job. It's all done now. And it is with the death card. So maybe you're on vacation. That's so funny. The Queen of Swords, it was cut out, it's finished. Oh, but it kind of breaks your heart in a way. The Queen of Swords and the Three of Swords. I feel like this is a labor of love. And I still, honestly, I can't push that out. That it feels almost like that situation. And it doesn't even just have to be like remote learning. It can be like remote accounting, remote anything that you've been doing where it feels like almost like you've been like chained to this. And it feels like you're putting an awful lot of effort in and trying to help them. But really, at the end of the day, I would prefer not to at this point because, for whatever reason. But patience. There's been a serious amount of patience here. And yeah, you finally, I want to say you've reached the epitome of where you can go with this. If it's work, if it's some sort of foundation that you were building for yourself, I do feel like there is a point of frustration that would have been involved in it, but it was serving your higher good and preparing you for your future. It's ended. There's been some sort of heartbreak, which is interesting because what you will finish working on is the Six of Cups. That is a bit of like reminiscing, nostalgia. So even if you've been involved with something and it was heavy, it's still on some level here, it kind of saddens you that it is over. I kind of get like that. Maybe that's a Cancer thing too. It could be the worst job ever. You've been dying to get the hell away from there. And then it finally happens. And on the last day, you kind of stand it and you can't walk out. I'm going to miss this place. Thought you hated it. Well, I kind of did. But like it kind of feels like that. So the Knight of Pentacles. Oh, look. See, you are moving towards, oh, you are. You're moving towards your heart, what your heart wants to do. The Two of Cups and the Knight of Wands, which is interesting because your future is full of cups. Where you have your passion, the passion that you have, driving that forward, what you're passionate about, where you can feel a reciprocation and an equality. That wasn't here because these are people that you would rather not deal with. You would rather ignore. It says help those. So I don't want to say it's not people. So it's definitely putting your attention where you would like to put your attention. The Six of Cups, what you'll finish working on. How are you going to finish working on this? The Five of Wands, the Empress, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Eight of Wands. Well, it's definitely going after what you want. Your soul's journey. I'm kind of hearing that too, right? Like the soulmate card with the Six of Cups. So your soul's journey with the Five of Wands, the Empress, how to move past any sort of conflict towards what it is that you truly, truly want. Real abundance here. Creating so you're going to finish working on this in the future. If you've been trying to figure out how to get to what it is that you really, really want, like it's your heart's desire here, the conflict on one side of it, the constant reassessment on the other side, and the movement to move forward. You're going to finish working on that. And there you go, though. What would be healed is the Knight of Cups, which is kind of like the movement with your heart. The Knight of Cups, the Page of Cups, the Judgment. Where to go? The Page of Cups and Judgment. There you go. Like bringing your heart forward again. There was no hearts over here. There was no cups. Well, the only cup that showed up was the Two of Cups. Like what is starting to blossom for you? It's starting to move forward to what you really desire. What is your heart center here? And that could be a person. It could be a goal for yourself. It could be not working remotely anymore and seeing people face to face. A rebirth in that. The new beginning, the second chance. It kind of feels like for some of you, like going on vacation even. Because what you finish working on is the ball and chain at work. The King of Pentacles, the Eight of Pentacles with the Devil. Yeah. Okay, so what will be ready to harvest is the Eight of Cups. So what you have removed yourself from, what sort of emotional distancing you've practiced to prepare yourself to move forward. That's going to be ready for you to harvest. The Eight of Cups. The Page of Swords and the Eight of Swords. Ooh, 2 8s. And this page feels like cutting through, like, okay, well, these 2 8s, for one, like the 8 of Cups and 8 of Swords, there's distance. There could be physical, there's definitely emotional distance here. And the 8 of Swords is, well, you can't move. So it's like you really can't correct that. But with the Page of Swords here, I almost see it like slicing through this energy. 2 pages. So you're starting kind of like simple here. If you have to teach people that haven't really been paying attention for the last year and a half, just start real simple. But like, it's like that. Like, you're almost like simplifying a little bit, cutting through anything that made you feel trapped or completely removed from a situation. Really, it's like completely removed from a situation. And I feel like too, like, I know a lot of my friends and I that were trying to do things like go golfing together, and well, actually, as you're watching this, it's pre-recorded, I'll tell you, I'm up north with my Pisces friend and her family in the water, and like, just like this reconnect. That's what this feels like a reconnect in your future year, Pisces. I want to see, the concentration is so cute. It's like, what was that? I wonder, like, the kids do that? Because puppies do that, and dogs. What did you say? Concentration. Oh, look at Justice finally paying attention. Oh my God. The patience. Yeah, you've been patient. Oh my God. The 10 of Wands. Where did it go? The 10 of Wands. What's that? The Ace of Wands. The 5 of Pentacles and the High Priestess. See, this is sort of like put out in the cold. It's just, you know what, the energy of the past, well, currently, but I think it's something that you're kind of putting to rest. And how quickly a future can come in is dependent really on who you are and what your life story is. But it kind of feels like most of you are putting this energy currently to rest, and you're a little bit closer to the future. But yeah, this is like putting something to rest. This is like a heavy burden. Actually, turning a heavy burden into an exciting new beginning. Like feeling really excited instead of really weighed down. And then the 5 of Pentacles, like being left out in the cold. I don't know. What's the reason for this? It's yet to be discovered. High Priestess. Isn't that funny? That's really funny. This is the second time I'm recording this. I didn't get anywhere in the reading. It was just one of those, I hiccuped with my mouth, with words twice. I thought, I'm just going to start over again. So I did. I kept calling you High Priestess instead of Cancer. Isn't that weird? And then there it is. You know, I need to know. So who are these people that you'd rather ignore? Who are these people that you'd rather ignore? The Ace of Cups and Temperance. That's interesting. The capacity to help those you would prefer to ignore. Oh, because it's cups. It's almost like you would prefer to ignore something because you have another area of your life that you have to focus on. And there's temperance, patience. And over here, you get to refine the cups. You get to work on that. Oh, that's so interesting. So your ability to communicate knowledge, experience, skill, and wisdom. Look at that. Like, yeah, all right. There we go. That's exactly what you want is coming in. This is your comfort zone, the 3 of Wands and the Sun. It's all good in the future. That seems really good. Expect it. The seeds that you've already planted, or that someone else planted, if you have someone else's kids to teach next year, have been planted. The 4 of Swords, the 3 of Cups, the Page of Wands, the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Cups. It's a lot of it. I'm not even bothering that. I don't know why the bottom isn't really interesting me anymore. I'm going to just tell you, you have the Fool at the bottom here. There is the beginning of a new journey for you. There you go, Cancer. That was your archetypal energy reading. I'm going to go do the extended. I'm going to look at the information in between these 2 points in time for you. Personal challenges, distractions to be aware of, and areas to focus on to get you into the future. Thank you so much, Cancer. Until next time, do be gentle with yourselves. Bye.